something that we focus specifically on. So we're the only company in the world that's got the diesel backup capability, such that if anything were to happen on the electromobility side, say you go over a bump and something happens to an inverter, it's not going to shut the entire system down. You'll have the diesel gen on the refrigeration system, which would kick in the case of an emergency. And I know that's one of the issues that we have in educating the government in that regard, so when it comes to going completely zero emissions, because just because you have that diesel capability backup shouldn't disqualify you from being a zero emission vehicle if that's the primary source of power. A good example that I put down here is I'm not sure if many of you are familiar with the Hamilton area, Mohawk College specifically. So this is the new Ron Joyce Center that was built. It is this picture on the bottom, it is a LEED certified, first of its class in North America, fully solar, fully geothermal building, runs completely on renewable energy. I took a tour of that facility and it was very inspiring. And yet, right here, in the very top of the building, you see a little box there. And what that is a backup diesel generator, which is required by code. And it's required by code in the case of a catastrophe or emergency. And so this is one of the main arguments that I use when I'm out in the public with regards to making sure that we do have that backup capability in the new technology that would help us to move forward into full electrification in the future. Because I'm a firm believer that it is coming, whether it's hydrogen fuel cell or full electric. The momentum has started, and it will be. The faster that we can adopt and adapt, the better it will be down the road. I've just put some rough numbers in here for those who are interested. Don't worry about the whole graph, but just pay attention to this dark green band here. And what this represents on the top of the curve is the number of operating hours for a reefer fleet on a yearly basis, running an 8-hour day, 10, 12, 14, 16-hour day. And this number here would be the amount of fuel savings, and I've done it based on diesel price of $2.15 Canadian a litre, which was at its peak, so a little bit lower than this now. So say around $19,000, $20,000 a year in fuel savings if you're running an 8-hour day. That's a lot of fuel. Put on top the fact that on a yearly basis, you'd be saving about 25 tons of carbon per year per trailer. Is quite a significant amount. And in states in the US where they offer carbon credits, or in provinces in Canada, which there are 2 where they offer carbon credits, that could be an additional 16,000, actually no, it's around $13,000 extra in your pocket, which over the long haul is, no pun intended, is would generate a return better than 3 years. It's probably down to about 1.5 years. So just on the technology alone, it's returning about a 5-year payback. And this is the first time in my career that I've ever worked on commercialization of a new technology where you've got an environmental benefit that actually has a return without a government incentive kicking in. So I can just imagine if we can get some support for the fleets in that regard here in Canada to provide some of these incentive programs to be able to adopt this technology down the road. Going forward, there's other great things that we're working on. I know I was talking to Steve from Volvo here on the right, and we're working on vertical integration through partner OEMs currently for tractor trailers, for truck boxes. And some of our developments are offering about another 55 kilometers of range extension to an electric vehicle. So if you can imagine a world in the future where you might do a head haul for refrigerated goods and then a back haul in dry goods, but the back haul has an electric power unit pulling the load, which may very well be the case in the very near-term future. You can actually tie that solar power pack into the battery system on electric truck and get a 55-kilometer range extension, which I thought at first really wasn't significant. But when you're talking to the truck manufacturers, that's a significant amount of extra mileage, of extra kilometerage you'll be getting per day. Some of the other benefits, if you can imagine, way down the road, once this technology is fully adopted, you can have directional charging capability. And what I mean by that is a whole field of tractor trailers parked at a distribution center. We just took a Google image of the Dixie and the 401, which is the most populated tractor trailer parking lot in all of North America, and easily count up 300 trailers sitting waiting, loading and unloading it in the distribution center. 300 trailers could generate about $1 million to $1.5 million a year in additional revenue by just sitting there and backfeeding the grid to a warehouse. As time goes on, we know that the technology is going to get better and better. Trailers lasting 10 years can see a savings of a range of anywhere from $200,000 to $400,000, depending on the hours of use, and that's with no government incentive over the life of the trailer. And the greater bonus for us is that we've developed a kit to be an aftermarket kit. So if you have got equipment today that's got a diesel hybrid electric system on it, we've got a kit, an integration kit that we can, a conversion kit, where we can convert that existing diesel engine over to electric. And we're the only ones so far that we know in the world who's doing that. So in summary, fuel consumption and CO2 emissions are among the key issues in environmental stewardship, and that's something that we at Westhill are very, very passionate about. Electrification trend in vehicle design and manufacturing is the way of the future. And it's not just about diesel reduction, it's about eliminating it altogether for applications. We see solar energy as a potential in tractor trailer and box truck application to deliver fuel and cost savings long term. And the customer pull is extremely important for us. So the shippers who are looking at making change, early adopter fleets who are looking at making change and who want to take advantage of some environmental and cost savings together, and then value for end users, environmental benefit and cost savings and carbon offset. So if you'd like to learn more or you want to get in touch, we can be reached at westhillinnovation.com and product name Sunshifter. Thank you very much for your time.